There are tons and tons of videos out there claiming that they will teach you a language in only 10 minutes. Let's see what they have to say. Hola, bienvenido. Today we're going to be reacting to a video that I haven't watched yet, but the title is very catchy. So it is called Learn Spanish in 10 Minutes, All the Basics You Need, and it's by the Learn Spanish with SpanishPod101.com channel. So since this video has over 3 million views, I thought that there's something valuable here. So let's take a look. I haven't watched it yet. This is going to be my first time watching any video of this channel, and I'm really curious, how can they teach you Spanish in only 10 minutes? So let's see what they have to say.
Unlock our entire language learning system. Get up to 30% off Basic, Premium, and Premium Plus.
Okay, starting with an ad, very smart.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Free lifetime account, that sounds like a good deal. And now it says Spanish in 3 minutes. Let's see, I don't get it, let's see.
Welcome to SpanishPod101.com. Español en 3 minutos. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Spanish.
Okay, something that I like already is that she clearly is a native because she has, just like me, an accent, and I can tell that it's a Spanish speaking accent, so that's really cool. You kind of want to learn from a native if possible, even though non-natives could get really good at a language. It's always better to have a native's perspective, so I already like that, and the background music, it's pretty Latin. I like that a lot.
Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto.
Sounds like we all start the videos the same way, huh? Hola, soy Mariela.
Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Spanish phrases. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes.
Alright, so first thing, I don't like the statement of her saying it's super easy, because what could be easy for someone could be very difficult for someone else. So stating that it's going to be easy is not starting with the right foot. I would rather say I'll make it as simple as possible, or I'll explain it to my best to make it easy for you to understand. But just stating that it's easy, I don't think that's fair. Let's see what else is going on in this video.
In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Spanish. You will be surprised at how easy it is. Are you ready?
Okay, so again, stating that it's going to be easy. I like that in a way that, okay, it makes it accessible for everybody, and it might make you feel more confident stepping into it. But what if after the video you feel that it was really hard? Some people could be hurt by that, or be discouraged by that, because they might think, oh, then I'm not smart enough to learn this. So it's a statement that I don't fully agree with, but it's okay. I like that she's right off the bat saying what the video is about, so I like that.
Listen again to my introduction. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. The first word is hola, which means hi or hello. After that comes soy, which means I am. Hola, soy, and then your name. Hola, soy Lucia means hi, I'm Lucia. Finally, say mucho gusto, which means nice to meet you. So all together it is hola.
Alright, so it's a very basic phrase, and it is correct, there's nothing wrong with the phrase. But I have a feeling that she's aiming for you to learn it by heart instead of understanding where it's coming from, or what word means separately. Even though she is translating the sentence word by word, she's not explaining what soy is soy and not es or está. Soy, as you know probably already, is the translation for I am, in the sense of verb to be translated as ser for permanent things or permanent statements. So I can expect her to go in depth in 3 minutes apparently, but it depends of what your goal here is. If you just want to learn enough Spanish to get by in a short trip, then I guess this could work, just memorizing words, learning them by heart and then using them. But if you want to actually become fluent in a language and keep it with you, this is not the way to go, according to my experience at least.
Soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. It's a polite and common way to greet someone. There is also another way to say your name. Instead of soy Lucia, you could say me llamo Lucia. Me llamo literally means I call myself, but we use it to mean my name is. Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, my name is Lucia. Nice to meet you.
Okay, that's correct. Another way of saying my name is me llamo Mariela. Those are reflexive verbs. Me llamo. They are quite advanced in Spanish and I wouldn't use them right off the bat as they are, unless you're just learning them by heart. Like, I have a feeling that she's trying to make you learn. She also said that it is a translation for my name is, and it is not. It is a way of saying my name is, but it's not a translation. A translation for my name is would be mi nombre es. My name is.
Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Again, let's take a look at these two ways to introduce yourself. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, my name is Lucia. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and now she's using repetition as a way of teaching, which is also like, it is correct and it is effective, and you need to repeat in order to learn something, but it is lacking explanation. So you're at the end of the day, you're just repeating something that you're memorizing. Not fully agree with that, but I get that it's meant to teach you real quick, so I guess it works.
Now it's time for Lucia's insights. People in Spanish-speaking countries greet each other by shaking hands. But depending on the situation, we often kiss each other on the cheek. So don't be surprised if this happens to you.
That's true. Especially in Argentina, everybody gets kissed. Even if that's the first time meeting someone or if it's the formal meeting. When I took my boyfriend then to Argentina, he was getting kissed all the time by everyone, including men and men kiss, and it's not a big deal. They kiss on one cheek. And at first he found it like very invasive, but then it just, you end up embracing it, and it's a nice culture, and I feel like it's a very warm way of greeting each other, and I actually miss it. I live in the States and people just either shake hands or not touch at all, and it's like, I'm a hugger, you know, like I like kissing people, and I wouldn't even dare kiss someone here because they would find it very awkward.
In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Spanish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. ¿Están listos? Are you ready? Empecemos. Let's start.
I like how she uses Spanish phrases and then translates them right away. I would add a short subtitle there, you know, every time she says empecemos, I would spell it out so people get the chance of really seeing the word and trying to match the sound with the spelling. So that's something that could be improved.
Several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias means thank you. To say thank you very much, you just need to add muchas before it. Muchas means very or a lot. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. For a simple thanks, gracias will be enough. If you want to say more than just thanks, muchas gracias is good to use.
I like how put together she looks with the pearl earrings and the, you know, the vest and the shirt, the dress shirt and the straightened hair. I feel like I could do a little bit better here.
Now, how do you respond to thank you in Spanish? It's easy. The most common way to say you're welcome is de nada. De nada. Nada means nothing. In the last lesson, we learned how to show thanks by saying gracias. In this lesson, we will learn some of the most common greetings used in Spanish. ¿Están listos? Are you ready? Empecemos. Let's start. The most used informal greeting is hola. Hola. Hola means hi or hello. We can use it in formal and informal situations at any time of day. It's very convenient. Hola. Now, let's look at some greetings that are used at certain times of day. First is good morning. Good morning in Spanish is Buenos Dias.
Okay, so it looks like this 10-minute video is going to be a compilation of 3 different videos. Now I'm on the second part. The first time she taught you how to say hello, nice to meet you, and my name is, and now she's teaching how to greet, saying good morning, good afternoon, good night. Yes, we keep focusing on the basics. I get that that's the purpose of the video. Calling the video learn Spanish in 10 minutes, it's kind of misleading, but let's keep watching, see what happens.
Buenos Dias. Buenos Dias literally means good day, but we use it to mean good morning. During the day, we say buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes means good afternoon. This can be used all day as long as it's light outside. Again, buenas tardes.
Alright, so she's now spelling the words that she's saying. Not all of them, just the ones that are relevant to the topic of the video. So whenever she's mentioning an extra word, they don't spell it. So as I mentioned before, that's kind of a missed chance there. And whenever they're talking about the actual topic of the video, they do spell the word in Spanish and they put the translation. And she repeats it more than 2 or 3 times. So that's very useful when teaching a language. My concern about this video is that it looks like they want to sell you the course. You know, they want you to download the free app or lifetime account or whatever, and you can see the signs everywhere. And you might recall from my video on tips how to study, one of the tips that was scientifically proven is remove all the instructions. So if I'm trying to focus on a word in a different language that I'm trying to learn and I have signs everywhere popping and flashing asking me to get my free lifetime account, then it's confusing. The brain doesn't register the word that we need to focus on in the most efficient way possible. So I will remove that.
When it starts to get dark, you can switch to this. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Buenas noches means good evening or good night, depending on the situation. If you're greeting someone in the evening, it means good evening. If you're speaking to someone before you go to sleep, it means good night. Again, that's buenas noches. Now, you can greet people in many different ways in Spanish. Let's review them all again. As a general greeting, hola. In the morning, buenos dias. In the afternoon or during the day, buenas tardes.
Okay, I think she's doing a really good job, but something that I feel like could be exploited in a video is diction. So the movement of the lips and the mouth in order to enunciate a word the best way possible, especially when we're trying to teach a language. She's just saying buenos dias instead of saying buenos dias. We're using a video, not just audio, we're using visuals. So there's an extra chance of grabbing this extra teaching tool that we have in order for the viewer, you, to see what I do with my mouth and tongue in order to pronounce these words that are so different, and these sounds are so different from those in English. So I think that in that case she could be doing a better job enunciating.
In the evening or at night, buenas noches. Pretty easy, right? Now it's time for Lucia's insights. If you're not sure which greeting is right to use, Buenos Dias, Buenas tardes, or Buenas noches, just remember that hola can be used at any time of day. In the last lesson, we learned the most common greeting in Spanish. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you're in a situation where you need help in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver.
Okay, so I'm moving towards part 3 of this video, and she wants to teach you how to ask in Spanish if that person speaks English. So again, the title of this video is very misleading. They will not teach you Spanish in 10 minutes. They will just teach you how to introduce yourselves, how to greet someone, and how to ask that person if they speak English, which kills every opportunity of speaking Spanish. So, of course, in a situation of emergency, yes, of course you're going to default to English because that's the easiest way to go. And believe me, I have had so many experiences where I wish that people had spoken Spanish to me instead of a different language. But there's a redundancy in asking someone if they speak English in Spanish, because if they do, they're going to reply in English. So if you ask, do you speak English, instead of hablas inglés, if they do speak English, they are going to understand what they're asking if you're asking, do you speak English? And if they don't, they're just going to look back at you saying, hey, what are you saying? And they won't get it, so their face expression will be your answer. So I always find it funny when people try to learn how to ask someone else if that person speaks their own language, like English, for example, in that person's language, because it's redundant. It just doesn't have a point. Again, if that person speaks English, you can just ask, do you speak English? And if they don't, they just won't reply back, or they will look confused, and that will be your answer. It's just learn something else. Learn a different sentence. It doesn't make sense to learn that, in my opinion.
Here's a formal way to say it. Habla inglés. Habla inglés. Again, this means, do you speak English? The word habla is a form of the verb hablar, which means to speak. This is the formal way to say you speak. Hablar is known as a AR verb because it ends in AR. Most AR verbs conjugate in a similar way.
Okay, so now she is going into more depth, but unless you know what she's talking about, it is very confusing, because she went from teaching you how to say hola to talk about AR verbs without mentioning that AR is one of the 3 possible endings to infinitive non-conjugated verbs, which are like the name of the verb. So it's lacking a background, or it's lacking explanation, so it's kind of confusing. I can see people not really getting what she's saying, but maybe it's just me. Maybe I like to explain things in a different way, and that's actually a good thing because we have different tools and different ways of teaching, so that's good news for you. But that's my opinion.
To learn how to properly conjugate AR verbs like hablar, please check out our Absolute Beginner series on SpanishPod101.com. Now, let's
So they want you to check a different series. Okay, so it's very common to refer to a new video or a different video while you're recording one, and it makes sense because you can't make a 20-hour long video explaining everything there's to know, right? We are, as we've learned, presenting the information in small chunks in order for you to process it better and learn it smarter. So I agree with that. But I don't know, if it was me, I wouldn't even have mentioned the AR, and I would have stuck to this format of the video of just teaching you to learn the words and sentences by heart instead of going into more depth, because that makes it confusing.
Make this sentence informal. This is done by adding an S to the end of habla. When we do that, we get hablas. Altogether, hablas inglés, hablas inglés. This is the informal way to ask, do you speak English? The responses you receive could be one of these three. Sí, hablo inglés. Yes, I speak English. Sí, hablo inglés. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase habla inglés. Do you speak English? In this lesson, we're going to learn how to apologize or say excuse me in Spanish. The basic phrase for excuse me is disculpe. Disculpe. We should use disculpe in formal situations, like when we're ordering something at a restaurant. For example, disculpe, un café por favor. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Disculpe, ¿dónde está el baño? Excuse me, where is the restroom? Another way to say excuse me is perdón. Perdón. Just like disculpe, we can use perdón when asking a question.
Okay, and in the last part of the video, she talks about how to say excuse me and pardon. Yeah, it's just, it's very basic. And again, my issue with this video is the title, Learn Spanish in 10 minutes. I don't think that's fair, it's quite misleading. I would change it for something like learn 4 important sentences in Spanish in 10 minutes. Alright, so that's it. That's my review of Learn Spanish in 10 minutes by SpanishPod101.com. I think they do a really good job, but they definitely want you to subscribe to whatever course they are offering and this lifetime free subscription or whatever they have, free account. I haven't checked that out, so I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's starting point to go into something deeper, hopefully. So again, it's a very basic video that teaches you just a few sentences, so I don't think it's fair to call all the basics you need and learn Spanish in 10 minutes, because I don't think that that's what this video is about. I think it's useful, and especially if you're in a rush and you want to learn quick Spanish right before you hop on the taxi outside the airport as you arrive in, I don't know, Mexico or whatever. But I would take the lessons a little bit deeper, and I feel that that's a better way of learning. But maybe this fast-paced surface language teaching works for you. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this type of video. I'm all down to keep reviewing different videos. If you have any suggestions, drop them down in the comments, and I'll see you next week on Friday, viernes, for a new Spanish lesson. Ciao, ciao!